This is Alex.
And this is Yammin.
Cheese sticks.
Oh my, I hate him. I hate him so much.
Cheese.
The funny thing is the intro was your fucking idea, but now you just sabotage it every time. But it's fine. It's kind of your thing. What the fuck are you eating?
Mac and cheese.
Oh, so you weren't just making...
I made it for him.
No, you didn't.
Yama,
I
do you
did
make
not.
a good mac
That's a
and
lie.
cheese?
No, I do not.
Do you know
That
anything
makes it
about...
sound
I
like-
would. I would burn cereal.
Why the fuck are you even putting flame close to cereal, you dumb idiot?
It's a joke.
What's a joke?
Jesus.
I don't joke about cereal. I don't know about you.
You sound like everyone on the internet. Fucking idiots.
So, Yami, you don't know anything about cooking, even though you work in an establishment that involves producing food.
I mean, you work at NPR. You don't know how to journalize.
Oh, shit. You sound like
No,
every
but,
fucking person on
I
the
could
internet.
probably make a cake. I could probably make a mean cake.
A mean cake? Would you make that from scratch, or would you get that fucking Betty Crocker prepackaged cake mix
No,
from the store?
I make it from scratch. I wouldn't know the amounts though. I don't know I know the ingredients. I don't know the amounts. We don't make like one cake. We make like huge.
Well, yes,
like,
obviously, but I'm
pots of
saying...
batter and whatnot. But
I'm saying, could you just make a standard
Yes.
cake? I'm not asking you to make like a fucking triple layer wedding cake or something. I just want like
I mean,
one
that is
layer.
a standard cake to me. Otherwise, it's a brownie, in my opinion.
You think a
Or a
standard
whitey, whatever.
single layer cake? Okay, whitey didn't want
This is a
to.
dumb fucking conversation.
Okay,
Oh
Patrick,
my-
enlighten me with
Patrick, what do
something
you
that
want?
you
What do
think
you
is
want to
more
talk about?
fascinating.
Let's
I want
go.
to talk
What
about
do you wanna
Tom Brady
talk about,
making out with
asshole?
his son.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's talk. It's a good idea.
We
It's
had
a
such
hot
an
topic
innocent
today.
topic,
Yes.
and now you want to bring up this
See-
incestuous, problematic
It's
thing.
not
but okay,
incestuous.
go for
I'm,
it.
I'm sure that he doesn't want to fuck his son, but like the internet really doesn't care, and they really want. They're like fan fiction writers. Like any
people
two
write
people
fan fiction
show
about
up
Tom
in
Brady
a
and his
literary work or in a video or a movie, and they automatically are sexualized the relationship. This is a dad and his son. It's so creepy. Why do people exist on the internet?
I mean, I think it's still a little weird. When you first told me,
Okay, but that was the
I was
son's
li-
fault.
no, it was when you first told me, I was like, oh, it's fine. Like family members like peck on the lip stuff. It's like a form of greeting. Like especially in Latin American
Yeah.
culture, I'm totally familiar with that. But I watched a video where he is getting a massage shirtless, which is like weird. But I guess as an athlete, that's a thing you do. And his son comes in to say hi, gives him a quick peck and leaves. And then Tom Brady's like, what was that? What was that?
Did he reach out and pull his son close and do it?
I don't think so.
No, I'm pretty sure he was just laying there limp, and his
Yeah.
son did it like of his own volition.
Yeah, but
I'm
the
sure
weird
it was
thing
just
is
an
that
innocent
he
thing.
like.
This is what the internet does, though. It makes everything gross.
Well, I don't think it's.
He also makes out with his
You're the
dad.
one. You were the one that wanted to bring this
Because
up.
it's
like,
stupid.
You are the internet that you are talking about.
I'm talking about the
I don't
internet.
think-
It's stupid, though.
Look, I am not one. I'm not gonna say Tom Brady wants to fuck his kid. I think that's far from it. I'm just saying that
Probably
You've
shouldn't
said it
say
at least
that.
3 times.
That would be
it's
a lie.
still weird. Like the first time, it's fine. Wouldn't think anything about it. But this time when he like calls him back, he's like, "What was that? What was that? Give me a real one." And like it's like a prolonged thing. I'm just like, oh,
Why are you
weird.
adding
That was
like
weird.
mental dialogue to this?
No, that was like that's actually what he said in the video. He was like, "What was that? Come back here." In some like
What?
weird way. Yeah, you didn't watch that?
No.
Yeah, he did. It was fucking weird, and
Oh.
that's the part that made it weird.
I
for
just
me.
know that after they all lost, after they lost, like there were a lot of tweets from these accounts that I follow that were just like, after Tom Brady lost this Super Bowl, he was reportedly seen in the stands making out with his dad.
Jeez.
That's mean. I mean,
He has done that before, and I just think it's so funny.
look, let the man kiss his kids, but someone give him a memo telling him not to make it last longer than like 1 second, and don't explicitly ask for a longer one because that's weird. Like,
Oh, it's so stupid.
do you think the Brady family 10, 20 years from now, Tom Brady is going to be literally the Uncle Tom who asks for creepily long kisses from his like nieces and nephews and stuff?
You had a weird uncle, man. I don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
what I'm saying. Everyone's got a weird uncle, and Tom Brady's going to be that weird uncle.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
guess weird is a word.
Tom Brady's gonna be the uncle that gives people gifts that are way more than it's like oh, it's your half birthday. Here's a Lamborghini.
Tom Brady's
Except the
gonna be the
Tires are deflated.
yeah. Tom Brady's gonna be the uncle whose best days are behind
They
him.
made it to the Super Bowl. I'm like, oh, they're not good. They cheated. They made it to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, I mean, as a Patriots fan, and I bought a $30 Patriots T-shirt for the Super Bowl, and they lost. So I'm not mad about it or anything, but I just feel
You don't sound bitter
I feel
at
like
all.
I'm an authority on this, honestly, as the only person recording now who is actually in New England at the moment. So
What does
that's
that make
all
you an
I have to say.
authority on?
Because Patrick, I'm from New England, and
Are you Tom Brady's boyfriend?
Yeah, we make out. He even lets me kiss his son sometimes.
No, I know you don't because you're not a member of his family.
Stop.
He even lets you kiss his son.
What's wrong with you? What is? Jeez.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm hoping
It's not amazing. Amazing is not the word.
he like tells all of his
He's so generous.
He's at dinner with his friends, and he's like, "Hey, Bill Belichick, come over here. This is my kid. Danny or whatever. Belichick, give my kid Danny a kiss. Give him a kiss." And he's like, "No, I don't really feel comfortable doing that, Tom."
Oh my
He's
god.
like, "Come on, do it."
Isn't Bill Belichick the coach?
Yeah, he's the coach.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
which
Doesn't
would
he
make
look
sense why they're
like
dinner
he
together.
like he wants everybody to die?
Does he look like that? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just
He
sort
always
of looks
looks
like
I
he's
can
been
see him being a closeted racist.
He's like a low-key Trump supporter.
low key.
Yeah, he like
That's
gave
what
it
I
the-
said.
his
A
campaign
closeted
money and
racist.
stuff.
A low-key Trump supporter,
Yeah.
aka closeted racist.
It's weird. I mean, well, the other thing is that this is something funny that I found out. Robert Kraft, who's the owner of the New England Patriots, who I'm pretty sure is also like a Trump supporter person, he owns, like just the same way he owns the New England Patriots, owns the Boston Overwatch League team. I forget what it's called. But there's this funny video on YouTube of him meeting with all the Boston Overwatch players in some random ass office, and you can tell he's just like, I have no idea what the fuck this is, but I think this will make me money. He's just like, when I bought the Patriots, we didn't have any Super Bowls. 10 years later, we got 5 Super Bowl rings, and I hope to bring some of that greatness to your skill.
All right, let's go win a Super Bowl.
And all these like
them.
nerdy looking ass kids are like, I've never run in my life, but I will use my computer
super what now?
reflexes to
Body shaming, Alex.
I'm not body shaming. This is just like a fact. Like they have a certain physique to them that is not
Oh,
comparable
okay.
to a pro
Yeah,
NFL
sure.
player. Hey, if an Overwatch League player wants to have the same bodily physique as Tom Brady, good for them. Like, it's probably way healthier for them. But I'm just saying.
Tom Brady looks like he would stab somebody if they made fun of him.
Oh, I bet. The other thing
Who's that one guy who we talked about when we did the other time we talked about football 8 years ago when one dude said, it's kind of funny seeing a female talk about routes or whatever in football.
Oh, he was like some South Carolina football player. I don't remember. That was one of the early episodes. Damn.
Wasn't that Cam Newton?
Yeah, him.
Oh, it was? Oh yeah. Wow.
That
Yeah,
guy
it's
who
Cam
looks like
Newton.
he's angry all the
What the fuck are
time.
you talking about?
Yeah. What a douche. He didn't end up getting anywhere though, so the universe kind of worked out. It's fine. Are we done talking about Tom Brady? Kissing his son.
I don't know. We should ask Patrick. Patrick, are we allowed to talk about
Patrick, do you
anything
have any more
else?
takes on this? Because I'm not really sure where you stand. I thought you would be the one to say that it was fucking weird.
No,
But
I
you're
think it's
actually
just
one
funny.
saying
The whole
it's
idea of it is very funny. I think it's more that like the jokes that people made that made me laugh more than the actual thing happening. I mean, I guess it was kind of weird,
Yeah.
depending on your family situation. I definitely don't kiss any of the people in my family, but that's just me.
Yammin, do you
know.
kiss anyone in your family?
On the lips? No, that's not normal.
Why isn't it normal?
Society, that's it.
Like, why
Yeah.
why do you think society governs it?
Because
Though,
that's not a greeting. I don't know what to
'Cause
tell
it's
you. It's like
sexualized.
there are
That's-
lots of
yeah.
different ways people
Sexualized?
greet each
That
other,
makes
and
sense.
that's just not one of the normal ways, I guess.
Unless
I
you're
re-
in that Hunger Games movie.
Wait, what Hunger Games movie?
Well,
When did they
Yeah,
catching
same.
fire and catching fire.
You're the resident Hunger
Katniss,
Games
shut up,
expert.
Katniss and Peeta, they're getting out of their thing when they all do the little chariot thing when they go through the big stadium to show off how they can get dressed in fancy stuff, and then Katniss gets out of the little chariot, and then this other dude comes up and then grabs her by the neck and then like kisses her like really deeply, and then she's like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And then what's the old man?
Woody Harrelson?
No, yeah, Woody Harrelson's just like, no, she doesn't understand your culture. And then the dude walks away, and then Katniss was like, "What the fuck was that?" And then Woody Harrelson's just like, "No, his culture is like that's how they greet each other." And she was just like, I don't know how this is relevant other than that, but yeah, I decided to bring it up, and here we are.
That makes sense. It's just like in Latin American culture where a kiss on the cheek is pretty standard. Like I do that. And
To do the double thing.
Yeah.
That's all the time.
All the time.
I don't want to hug people, so I don't know how I could possibly kiss somebody.
I've noticed that, and this is not a knock against you, Patrick, or other predominantly American white families.
Qualify it.
Is that they barely greet their family members. I don't know. It's a strange thing.
Have you ever been in an Italian family? Ever seen one before?
Not an Italian family, no. But
they love touching each other.
Okay, well, I'm speaking to maybe like just
take that as however you want to mean it.
Are you? But you're not Italian,
no.
Are you? Okay, so
I have a couple of friends who are, and every single time I come over to their house, their mom like comes up to me like, "Oh, it's Patrick," and then they hug, and then if there's a dog, they're gonna pick him up and hug him and bring him real close and do the double kiss thing on either cheek, which I never expect, and it always surprises me and freaks me out.
Yeah, it can be really weird if you're not expecting it, but I know.
But then they give me a vice grip, and they're like, "Don't make this awkward." I have to run away down the stairs.
Whenever I'm at Kalina's house, when her family members come home from work or whatever, I'm so accustomed to being like, "Oh, I'm gonna go greet my dad or like my mom or something whenever they come home." But like for her, like no one gets up, like no one says anything. Like you could go another hour or two without saying a word or seeing them because they're in another room, and then when you see them, it's just like, "Oh, hey." I'm just like, that's so weird. Like they've been in the house for the whole time, but like weird. You never said anything. That's weird to me. Like that's even just an acknowledgement is all I require. Because like other than that, it feels weird and awkward that you're almost avoiding that person. Like I have to make a point to be like sometimes I'll do it when she's not. I'll just be like, "Oh, hey, welcome home, so and so, Mr. Newman, whatever." And she's just like, "Whatever. We can just stay down here or stay here or whatever." It's weird. I don't understand.
What are you talking about? I don't understand what you mean.
I'm saying, did you just miss the entire point of what I was saying?
I was listening.
Did you not understand, or were you not listening?
I'm not gonna reiterate it from you because you don't deserve it.
Can you bullet point it?
White people don't care enough about their families to say hi to them when they come home.
Precisely. We all hate each other.
That's when I come home. Like my house, you walk in and like right when you go through the door, you can go downstairs, upstairs. My room's downstairs, their room's upstairs, and I make a point to go upstairs to say hi to them. Yeah. And then I go downstairs.
I also like loving your family.
You want to talk about something?
No. Say what was that? What is that thing people say when someone says something very explicit, like exactly what they mean? It's like, say what you really mean.
I never understood that, but
no, it's just like say what you really mean because it's a joke.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick, if you want to kiss your dad, you can. I don't think he would mind.
I'm just gonna leave that. I don't even know why.
The silence that followed that.
Oh, wow.
The silence was deafening. I fucking hate that phrase. It's so
they're like people who aren't dead yet, so you can't talk about them.
Who? Like
just like a couple people,
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
The fuck is that?
Tell me what you really mean.
Hey. Like
all right.
It's not just like not being able to talk about someone,
okay,
but in their life, they're like, I don't know. Who's a recent example? Like somebody who was a terrible person or whatever, and then they died, and then now people are saying it's like, oh no, it's a tragedy. He or she contributed this to society, and they were so great. Like, I hate that so much. It's just like it's really fake. If you've been like giving this person a dressing down every single day throughout the entire history of their life because they're so terrible, and then the moment they die, you say, "Oh, then they deserve respect because they're dead. They can't defend themselves."
Do you have a specific example in mind? Because I get what you mean completely, but I'm kind of thinking I'm struggling to come up with an example. The closest thing I can think of right now is Michael Jackson.
Who was that serial killer that just died? I know it's impossible to believe.
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson. There were still people on Twitter who were still like, "Oh, respect the dead." No.
Oh, what about the Glee kid who killed himself? Who was a pedophile?
Oh, pedophile? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. Yeah.
He became a pedophile very shortly before he killed himself. Well, I don't know. I guess we don't know how long he was a pedophile for, but it was.
You don't just sign up to be a pedophile.
I think 1 second of pedophilia.
No, I know. I'm just saying he was. No. That's not what I'm saying at all. You're saying people. You don't like when people condemn somebody until they die, and then they're like, oh well, but they were all right. But like he wasn't condemned his whole life. He was like he charged with
Here's the thing, though.
having images
he had
or whatever,
images
and then
of children who may or may not have been taken into basements and like chained up and had pictures taken of them.
I'm not saying he's not horrible. I'm saying your point.
No,
was
I know
that-
what you mean exactly, but it's not necessarily just.
He's horrible.
It's not,
That's what I'm saying.
He is horrible, yeah, but it's not the specific instance of someone who's been panned their whole life as a piece of shit. It doesn't matter. Just like someone who is generally thought of, whether recently or at this point in their life, whatever. It doesn't matter. It varies. Yeah, I hate that shit.
I see that more with people that aren't really like garbage. They're just like average humans, and then they die, and it's like that person, like with a rapper that'll overdose, and their music was never good, and then people will be like, wow, a legend, a rap legend, we will be missed forever. I'm not referencing anyone specifically. Lil Peep.
Okay. I was like, there's one person in particular that just died, but
I mean, I was answering your question. I wasn't talking about anyone
that's
in particular.
probably my favorite example, because I'm not saying that he didn't contribute, but after there was this big push for like every single person on the face of the earth, every artist ever was saying he changed the face of the music industry. And maybe that means something different for some people, but I didn't listen to his music before, and then I, just for the hell of it, listened to most of his stuff. Not a music changing.
That's how I would describe his music as well.
Aren't you respecting the dead, Patrick? I don't understand. What could drive you to be so cruel to someone who isn't even on this earth anymore?
I
mean, he didn't deserve to die. I'm just saying he didn't deserve recognition after he died for things that he wasn't good at in the first place.
If you make fun of his music after being asked a direct question, like relating to his death, saying like, "Oh, I just didn't like his music," it's like, "What? You're some kind of monster. He's dead. You can't defend himself." As if he was going to defend himself from me in real life if he was alive. He didn't care.
Another example of this, that's a little less extreme, I guess, is how a lot of people romanticize Ronald Reagan. Like, a lot. Like, you see people still wear the fucking, like, Reagan Bush 84 t-shirts for some reason. That's become, like, sort of a weird white kid aesthetic. And, but
kid,
people
probably
don't talk about how he was, like, terrible for the poor and, like, minority communities, and the whole war on drugs thing, which fucking we are seeing.
That was a lot Nixon, though.
What do you mean?
The war on drugs.
What about the mix of it?
Nixon?
He said that was a lot of Nixon.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, Ronald Reagan,
stuff.
there was that famous clip where he says, like, "This is cocaine. It was bought just 100 yards away in the whatever garden or whatever." But he just set up a sting operation. That was the whole thing. It was just meant to make a point. This is like, drugs are everywhere, even at the White House.
Yeah.
I have some in my desk right now.
Yeah, they also...
I sorted some right before
this
I made
is terrible.
This
Something's got to be done.
Yeah, but I guess that's just like a political opinion thing, so obviously your views on that can vary.
Are
That's
wrong.
so fucking... I hate that goddamn word. I hate that word so much.
What? Political
Politicize
views?
and every podcast I listen to. I was listening to the Funhouse podcast, Do Soup, the other day when I was working out, which is kind of hard because sometimes they'll say something funny and I'll be in the middle of a bench press and I was like,
You'll laugh and
I'll almost die, almost kill myself just because I want to listen to a podcast while I work out. But I don't know. I can't remember exactly what was being said, but somebody made a joke, and I think it was Adam, and he's just like, he was talking about video games. He just said like, I think the character something. It was completely irrelevant. I can't even remember what it was, but it had nothing to do with politics. And he's just like, I don't want to get political, and then he just dropped the subject, and I was just like, what? Why is that political? Why can't you just say things now? Just, I don't know. Because a lot of the time it's just something like you agree with, and you're just like, yeah, that's not a terrible thing to think. Why would you hold back from saying that? That's not
what
a
about
politicizing thing.
What was he saying that he thought was?
I don't remember.
Political?
I really don't remember.
That's weird.
But I just specifically remember that it had nothing like crazy about it. It wasn't like, we should take all the guns, and then I was just like, oh, and we should stuff them into little dead babies. It's like, no, he didn't say that, but he just sort of like, I don't know. He said something. That is completely irrelevant.
Put them in live babies.
Alive babies.
Alive babies. But what about dead babies?
What about them?
Can we stuff the guns into them?
God, ask
No, that'd
Tom
be too
Brady
far. You can't
first.
disrespect the
That's
dead.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady has to kiss them before you can do that. Is that going to be the title of our podcast? Tom Brady kisses.
Please,
babies?
yes.
Dead babies.
Please.
God.
Dead babies? I don't know if I want to go that
Oh
far.
my God.
God.
Oh, that's the part that makes it too far.
Yeah, I would say so. Necrophilia is probably a little.
Yeah, there's a fucking fine line, Yamin. Jesus, like
Oh,
fucking
you're right.
presidents.
You gotta keep it classy.
Presidents
Is that
fucking
worse?
kiss
Just
babies.
fucking, I hate everything.
Is that worse?
Kissing a dead baby? Yes.
Mm.
What is there even to think about? It's dead. Why are you?
Is it a
kissing
baby that
dead
you
baby?
killed?
Let's say it's a baby that died of natural causes.
Okay, hold on.
Let's say Tom Brady's this baby's doctor.
Shut up. So here's example guy. And did he kill a baby and then kiss it? Or is it a baby he found?
Sure, let's do both examples. He killed the baby.
If he just kissed a baby that he found who is dead, I feel like that's not as bad as someone who just...
That's not what we were comparing.
But what's his relation to the
comparing-
baby?
I know,
Why is he
I'm just
kissing
comparing
it?
this myself
it
for
doesn't
scientific
matter.
reasons.
Why is he kissing
We
the
were
baby?
saying-
Is it his son or is it some random baby? He's
I don't know,
never
maybe
seen
it's
It's so that
before?
we can put guns in it. Isn't that what we accomplished?
Where are
Isn't that
your
what
glasses?
we said earlier that Brady has to... Right here. I'll put them on just for you, Patrick.
Thank you very
Put
much.
it on so I can
I'm
take
glad
it.
that-
It's Yammin.
I'm glad that you can't hear me when I don't have my glasses on.
Okay, so we're stepping away from the whole stuffing guns inside of babies, but this is a serious
Dead babies.
discussion where if you kiss a dead baby, there's a lot of context that's needed to make it okay or not. I think on some level, no matter what, kissing a dead baby is weird, and you really don't have a good reason for doing it, unless you're maybe like a priest or something and it's part of some religious ritual. If you,
What?
yeah,
It's,
I don't
you
know.
ever-
it's conversations like this that make me not want to recommend this fucking podcast to people
Yeah,
I know.
it's
Don't
conversations
do
like
you
this that
ever
make me-
recommend this podcast?
I absolutely this is the most interesting thing about me. This thing that I do once a week.
I never do.
This is literally the most interesting thing about me, and every time I talk to someone and they're like, yeah, I was working on this internship and I went to this party, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm recording a podcast, and because it's like the only thing I can talk about.
I'm always very
And then
sensitive
I'm like,
about
please
that
don't
because I don't
listen
want to
to it, though.
seem like that asshole who has a podcast because there's a lot of those now.
See, that's okay. There's a difference. If you had a podcast that you like put like, oh my god, you had so much production value put into it, and it was a terrible flop, terrible, awful piece of shit. I can understand why you would be an asshole for bringing that up all the time, but just bringing this up, this is like the most stupid fucking thing ever. This is just like slapdash conversation where we talk about babies and dead or.
This is better than a lot of other podcasts.
I've
This
heard
is
some
better
worse
than a lot of
podcasts.
other podcasts. I'm glad that somebody finally said it. Somebody in the reviews, please say that again.
Hey, we have 42 ratings on iTunes and we're at 5 stars, so we must be doing something right.
Well, it's because only
please
people
go like
who
us
have
on
been.
iTunes.
We should stop giving them cocaine for giving us good ratings.
true.
That's a
It's
weird-
kind of getting expensive.
Somebody get Reagan on the horn. Stop handing out cocaine to everybody. But you mentioned like so dead babies and rifles or whatever.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I'm
God.
not over this
I'm not
conversation,
bringing you back to
actually.
that. I'm not bringing you back to that. But like it's like almost like abortion and the gun debate in one. And Bill Burr had this funny joke on Twitter where he combined two of them, and his whole point was just like to get both sides of the aisle mad. Not the aisle, but like the spectrum. And he was just like, this is before the election. He said, Donald Trump is such a fucking idiot that he's actually going to make me vote for a woman. And I just thought that was so perfect.
Oh my God.
I thought it was perfect because it's awful. I mean, like
incredible.
awful for saying that about women, but like,
Oh yeah,
it's
that's
perfect.
horrible, but
It's
it's
perfect.
incredible.
No, that's a
Same
good
with
joke.
dead babies and guns. I hate abortion.
Do you think if
but I
Tom
love my
Brady
guns.
kissed his dead son, would that be weird?
Please shut up. Can we move on with anything else?
I-
Why did I
that's a
change
serious
the
How long
subject
does he
if you're gonna
kiss?
bring this up
How
again?
long does he kiss the corpse?
It's like it's a peck. He kisses. It's a little peck.
Is there a statute
No,
of
that's fine.
limitations for like a certain number of time for kissing a corpse of a dead baby?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Jeff Sessions is
Absolutely.
there every time you kiss your son with a stopwatch to make sure you don't kiss him for too long.
Who's Jeff Sessions?
The Attorney General who hates weed. You know this. We talked about
And
this.
gay people and black people and
I feel like
everyone that's not a rich white guy.
I need to give Patrick a civics lesson every time we talk about something political. But it's okay. I'm here to educate. That's my job.
I wonder how many people outside this room heard me talking about stuffing guns in dead babies and kissing.
Yeah,
Tom
campus
Brady's
You know you're in
security.
college,
son.
right?
Campus security's on the way.
Can't wait. Yeah. There's like a SWAT team outside my door.
Yeah, you're donezo. You're gonna get fucking swatted like all those Twitch streamers. Like that one streamer that got swatted and actually fucking died. Did you guys hear about that?
Why do you make it sound like it was his fault? Like, what an
They
idiot!
got him.
He died.
Can you believe the police came and broke his door down and killed him? What an idiot!
Yeah, it's just stupid. For anyone that doesn't know, swatting is when
The SWAT team is
somebody
literally
is-
called in your house.
well, so somebody is live streaming, and somebody a viewer somehow finds out where that person lives, and they call the SWAT team and say like this person has a bomb. And they're gonna blow up their apartment complex or something. So you see on stream a SWAT team bust in and like arrest this streamer that was doing nothing wrong. Usually the viewer just got angry because I don't know, they wouldn't give him a shout out or something stupid. It's usually something stupid. And recently somebody actually died from this.
That's what fucking terrifies me about streaming is that
Really?
yeah, dude.
You think there's an actual thing that's gonna happen to you?
I'm just saying. Well, it's obviously a possibility. Just the fact that it's a possibility is really freaky. You
My
know?
number one fear is not being successful, but that's up to you, I guess.
Okay, Patrick. I don't have that much vanity, and I'm more worried about my well-being.
It's not about being vain. It's just like I want to provide a quality product.
That's true. We are in the business.
You can't
of
do that if
providing-
the SWAT team shows up and kills
exactly. Thank
exactly.
you.
It
Jan.
makes
Asshole.
you into the dead baby in the situation.
you. Are you gonna kiss me when I'm dead? Because then I might have to kill myself.
We're just gonna be a running joke podcast.
I just dropped my umbrella and it was really loud.
Oh, well, whatever. Yamin, can
It's
you?
fucking shitty outside today.
What's your Fox situation? So, what is? Have you figured that out?
I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's so. I hope it's just.
It is.
I don't think so, dude.
Explain-
They
explain-
scream for like 3 or 4
They
minutes
do.
straight. So
Yeah, explain
last week I got home from work right around 7:20ish, 7:30. I got out of my car and I hear this like screaming. And at first I'm like, well, that's a weird animal. And then I was like, wait, is that a person? And it just keeps going. I was like, no, that's definitely some kind of animal. And it screams for like minutes and minutes. And these aren't like howls. They're like, this thing is being murdered, like eaten alive, and it's screaming. I was like, I recorded it. I'm not gonna play it right now.
I was
but
gonna wonder if I should insert that
recorded
into
it.
the podcast, but I feel like that would be like
you can
terrifying.
insert it, or you could play it through your mic. I'm not gonna play it through my mic because I'm in
Yeah,
the study
you
room.
don't want
but
people to think you're like
Either
choking
way-
How long ago
yourself.
did you send it?
When it was last Saturday,
If you just look under like
You
media
can go
in the
th-
group
you can-
message,
you go to media, you'll find the voice recording. Anyways, the point is, a couple days later, I come home from work the same time, get out of my car from the same direction, the same exact screaming, like from the same direction, the same horrible sound.
Mm.
And it's just, I hope Patrick says it's a fox,
It is a fox.
and I don't think. I mean, if they make that noise,
They
do
do.
they make that noise for
Yes,
minutes
they
on
do.
end?
Yes, they do.
It's a horrifying noise. And
I used to hear it a lot with my
I'm
cat.
hoping it's not like some. I am hoping it's not like some dog that like the owner like beats on a nightly
No,
basis or
it's not.
something.
It sounded like human screams for a little bit there.
It almost.
But the
yeah,
thing is
but
that
there were no words.
No, I know. I'm pretty sure it's a fox because I remember I've read multiple Reddit threads detailing the same thing where people are like, "I swear I hear a woman screaming in the night and like my house is haunted or something."
That can be
something.
mountain lions and cougars too.
Yeah, and people are
Yeah,
like,
there's definitely a mountain lion outside my house.
There could be.
I'm pretty sure. No,
way.
we definitely don't
That's
live in a
not
mountain lion area.
No fucking way.
You're saying it's
Get outta
physically
here.
impossible. Is there a barrier against mountain lions around your house?
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Yeah,
Shut your mouth.
the immigration enforcement police are setting up mountain lion checkpoints, and
Nice.
you need to show your papers if you're an authorized mountain lion or not.
An authorized mountain lion.
Yeah. Otherwise, you just have to bring a couple dead babies they can kiss, and they'll let you in. But
Shut up.
other than that,
This is gonna be the new cuck
What are you
thing.
trying to find, Patrick?
Trying to find your audio recording.
yeah, I couldn't find it.
Can you really? I can send
it.
it again. You dumb shit.
Can
I don't
you?
know why this is so hard.
It's not there. I
idiot.
went back like 3 months and I couldn't find it.
Stupid dumbass.
Shut up.
You fucking.
But yeah,
whores,
foxes
you
do that.
whore.
When I had a cat in my house a long time ago, they used to get in fights with my cat and they would scream like gooses.
Geese, you fucking goose.
So over that.
Why don't you just play it on your mic and when you find it instead of
I'm not gonna play it over my mic. 'cause
Oh,
it's-
okay, then I'll
it's
play
too
it.
loud.
Everyone's got to know.
So should
Yes.
I send it? in the group chat.
Send that shit. Let's see.
This is gonna be way less interesting than we're making it out to be.
I don't know if they're gonna even hear it. If they're gonna be able to pick it up.
If I put it next to the mic, they will.
This is very scary.
Turn it up and put it next to the mic. It is. It was. Listen. All right. It was. I know it was only like.
It can
7
freak
o'clock,
you out.
It was
Yeah.
it was pitch black outside, and for a minute, I really, really, genuinely believed that it was a human that was so scared of what was happening to them they couldn't compose
Don't blame
words.
you. Here's the sound. I don't know if it's gonna be audible. I'm turning the volume way up.
Turn it up. Turn it up. Right.
See, that shit's terrifying.
It was.
That is a fox.
Terror is nightmare fuel. And then I heard the same sound like a week later coming from the same direction. I don't know if it's in the backyard of my neighbors across the street or if it's in the woods behind their house.
I think it's in the woods because I've seen 100 foxes around here, and there's tons in the woods next to name of school.
So, but why is it in the same exact place?
Because
It's
it
probably
doesn't
like its
go
nest or
everywhere
its
it
home or
wants.
something.
It's probably where it lives.
So what's happening at its home?
It could be a mating call. It could be it's screaming at something that's trying to get at its kids. It could be calling for like its boyfriend to keep coming back or something. I don't know.
Okay,
Is it at like the
alright.
same time every night?
It's the same. I mean, the 2 times that I've heard it, it was at the exact same time.
Maybe it's yelling
right
at
when I
you.
got home from work.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. What?
Maybe he's trying to tell you
Totally.
that you're an ugly piece of shit.
Stop killing babies.
Well, if you think it's a fox, then I guess it's okay. But wouldn't it be crazy if you wake up one morning
Oh god.
and you turn on the local news
Cops.
and it turns out that a dead woman was found?
Yammin
Just a few
has been
hundred-
ignoring
I
a
would
woman
not
dying in pain.
Yeah, I would literally not sleep for like a week knowing that I heard a woman screaming and could have done something about. I was also thinking about if it's like some animal that is stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
Like
In a
stuck
trap.
in some kind of fence or
that's
a
also a
trap or
possibility.
something. And if it's the same animal both times, 'cause it's coming from the exact same direction. So if it's the same animal that's like starving or something, and it's been like days, it's been stuck in the same spot screaming for help or something.
I think it would have died
I
by
don't know
now.
why the neighbors. I don't know why the neighbors don't.
I mean, like, who
do
amongst your
anything. Is there
neighbors?
someone I can call?
Probably
You
animal
can
control.
call animal control. Yeah.
Well, I called. They close at 5.
I'm
Oh,
not sure that
that's
it's. I don't know. What would they even do to it?
If
Shoot
it's-
it?
I
Probably.
don't know.
Well, no.
Why?
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not going to go. Hey, there's something annoying. Can you come
Can you
kill
come-
it? I'd be like, I
can you
think there
come
might be an
snap its
animal
neck?
in danger or something. God, so come down here, snap its neck before I do.
I'm gonna take the law in my own hands and kill this animal. What else
Oh,
happened
God.
besides Tom Brady kissing his son?
The Patriots lost the Super Bowl.
I don't care.
Unfortunately, that sucked.
Nobody cares.
The Han Solo trailer came out.
Oh
That's a big one.
God.
Hey, let's go back. Tom Brady. What happened with Tom Brady?
Okay, we'll give our
Super Bowl,
quick
we can talk
takes.
about
I really like the trailer.
No. I was joking.
Okay, yeah,
You
I
guys
want to
can
be
talk
inclusive.
about it.
I really
Take
like the
your-
trailer.
take your
I
time.
thought
I
it looked
didn't.
good. Donald Glover's amazing. I'll see it for him alone. The cinematography is great, and I think the guy playing Han Solo is fine.
It's bad.
No, I literally have nothing against him.
He
Like
doesn't
what I've seen
sound
from
like
him,
him. He doesn't even look like him.
I don't give a shit. Donald Glover doesn't sound or look like Lando Calrissian at all either.
That's not the point at all. It's like
How's it not
he's
the
that-
point? That's an unfair.
he's got a
judgment.
mustache. That's what makes Josh look like Lando. It doesn't make any sense for this. Whatever his name is, Elon or something like that.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich, whatever. What a fun, easy to pronounce name that will stick in everybody's minds. But I don't know. It's just it looks kind of cool. All the set pieces and stuff. Woody Harrelson's there being gruff as usual. I'm sure he's gonna be the mentor guy, and they're gonna add every single mentioned thing about Han's life into this one movie. The
I'm
Kessel Run, the
pretty sure
game
the
that he
Kessel
won
Run
the
will be in there.
Millennium Falcon in.
That's definitely going to be in it. Yeah.
All these
But I d-
stupid things.
It really depends. I hope they don't. I have like a small amount of faith. I think it'll be all right, if anything. I don't think it'll be like an amazing movie or anything, but I really don't think it's also going to be as bad as
I'm
people are saying it's
So
going to be.
certain it's just going to be another Rogue One.
I liked Rogue One a lot, so
I
that's
didn't.
fine.
I hated it a lot.
You
Jyn
hated
Erso's the
Rogue
most
One?
non-charismatic character in the fucking planet.
It's funny because after The Last Jedi came out, I saw a lot of people listing Rogue One as their favorite new movie, which really surprised me because I remember a lot of people hating it.
It looks beautiful. It's super dumb.
I don't know. I need to rewatch it. It's on Netflix, so I don't have a reason not to. But
And my gripe with it is not. It's good. I have several, but one of them is that the characters are so unlikable and so boring. Jyn Erso is the most dull, robotic person ever. And whenever I say that, the argument somebody throws back in my face is like, "Oh, it's a war movie. Everything's supposed to be serious. So I should hate the characters? Is that the point of the movie? I understand what you mean."
I didn't hate Jyn Erso, but I didn't think she was like the best. I didn't think Felicity Jones really delivered.
She was falling asleep halfway through.
I think she had intention, but I just didn't like buy some of the stuff she was saying. I thought the whole stuff with her dad was kind of dumb, and I didn't really care that much.
I thought her dad was cooler than she was.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I love Mads Mikkelsen, but I don't know.
I wanted
think
more scenes with Donnie Yen. I want him to do more stuff in this movie, and he wasn't. He was like just sort of a monk, like who was devout in the Force or whatever. And then he did his one scene at the very end where he was like, "The one was Force, the Force was me," and nobody could hit him. Then he pressed a button, and then he died. And then his friend with the machine gun died, and then everybody died, and it was a fun time for kids.
I mean, it's hard to give everyone their due in a movie with such an ensemble of characters. So, I don't know.
That's why they gave the robot so many funny, hilarious lines.
I thought K2SO's writing was actually pretty
Mm-hmm.
good. I didn't really mind. Patrick, is there something recently that you... Oh, actually, I do want to talk to you about Altered Carbon on Netflix. I'm not done yet. I have 2 more episodes.
So disappointing. It got so dumb.
So I felt it was really dumb and stupid the first 2 to 3 episodes. Then in the middle, it got pretty good, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, it's not the best thing in the world, but I'm actually pretty invested in this. And I heard that the last few episodes, I only have 2 left, so I don't know, just go completely off the rails and are fucking stupid as shit.
Pretty much the last half for me.
Really?
Right off the bat, I was just like, whoa, this is like a super realistic, like really interesting sci-fi kind of crazy, cool thing. And then it immediately transitioned to this tone where he's like a superhero. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like all of those, you know, those sci-fi like Terra or One or like all those shows that have a sci-fi twist on the Sci-Fi Channel. Yeah. Where there's like a bunch of shitty actors and they're all wearing combat boots and like different, like, I don't know, what's the word? Shitty costumes like made of leather.
Costumes. Yeah.
And everything looks cheap. I mean, like, no, that's not what I mean. Like, everything looks good. There's great special effects and practical effects and everything's really pretty. But I don't know. I don't know what I mean by cheap. It's just like
the writing was bad.
So bad.
I thought the Latina police officer
so annoying.
Super annoying. And then halfway through, like right in the middle, she was like kind of interesting.
Exactly.
When they talked about her relationship with the guy who Joel Kinnaman used to be, basically.
What a shock. His body is someone who's close to another character.
Yeah, I thought that was relatively interesting. But then after she got her metal arm and she started acting stupid again, I was like, okay, I remember why I didn't like you in the first
she's
place.
A badass, dude. She's such a badass.
She was all right. I don't know.
I kind of like that. I didn't like any of the scenes with Joel Kinnaman after a while. He's really fucking dull in this show. He's so boring.
I don't like Joel Kinnaman as an actor that much, to be honest. So when I saw him in the trailer, I was
RoboCop
like, oh
is so
no,
bad.
Why? Yeah, also fucking RoboCop. The Asian guy who plays him, or
Takeshi,
is so good. Like when they did that whole flashback episode, I was like, I can get behind this guy. I like him. I get a sense of like what he's about, and I like him immensely more. But then they put him inside Joel Kinnaman's body, so Joel Kinnaman had to act it, and they seem like 2 completely different people, to be honest. Even though they're technically supposed to be the same person, they're just in different quote-unquote sleeves, which is a cool concept, but I don't want Joel Kinnaman to be in this show. Like,
he shouldn't
I'm really
be in
over
anything
him.
ever
He's
again.
fine. He's just boring. He's just so... He is like the Cheerios of actors. He was in this homicide murder mystery show called The Killing, which was fine. He was pretty good in that. He was like a supporting actor. But then he was in House of Cards. He was in Suicide Squad. He was in RoboCop, and all those things. I'm just like, this guy does not have what it takes to deliver anything more seriously. He also always just looks like a meth addict to me. I don't know if that's like rude, but in The Killing, in that original show I watched him in, he was also like, his character was addicted to drugs. So maybe I just have that mental image of him because he's just like this weird, tall, lanky, pale white guy who I feel could be from Ohio and just could be addicted to opiates or something. That's my take anyways. Try Altered Carbon. Give it a spin for an episode or two. Set your expectations very low.
I was desperate for them to cut back to like scenes with fuck, what are their names?
The sister?
No, the two other actors who played Takeshi in his previous bodies. I think it was Will Young Lee,
yeah, the Asian guy,
and Byron something. Both of them are twice as interesting as this motherfucker Joel Kinnaman. Like when he was working with the Resistance or whatever their fucking job was, the envoys were so vague. I had no idea what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, me neither. They were like freedom fighters, but freedom fighters
really dumb. But
what?
I liked everything that was going on. It felt more interesting when his character was at the wheel. I don't know. I know that the whole idea is that they're all playing the same person in different bodies, but they all play the character very differently.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree with that. So, overall, 6 out of 10. Slightly above average,
3 out
maybe?
of 10 when you get towards the end.
Okay. What else? Oh, did you watch the Cloverfield Paradox?
I did. It was really bad.
Okay, that's what I keep hearing. But I feel like I still need to watch it. Just because I love...
Okay, go in.
What was bad about it?
With very low expectations. So, I explained this entire fucking thing to Yammin. It's so stupid. I don't know how to explain the whole plot, but like, it starts.
I read like a little bit. They're on a space station. Earth has an energy crisis. They're trying to figure it out, and then the solution makes Earth disappear or something.
The solution, whatever big reactor they turn on in space, that hasn't been working. They turn it on, and suddenly the whole thing goes awry, and the whole ship shakes, and they all fall down. And then they all get up, and they're like, "Oh, whoa, Earth's gone. I guess we were turned the wrong way." And then they find out that Earth is actually gone. They're somewhere else in space. And eventually they figure out they're in another dimension, and dimensional warps happen. It all goes very far downhill. At one point, someone 3D prints a gun. It's very stupid. It's very, very stupid. Like, and also they keep cutting back to this side plot on Earth when the Cloverfield monsters are attacking, and there's no closure for that at all. Neither.
Wait, like they reference like the original movie?
No, there's another. Well, yeah, it's like about the same thing, but basically, I don't want to spoil it if you're gonna care.
Okay, I mean, I don't care too much, but I'll still watch it.
Well, anyway, spoilers for shitty movie. Like, the reason the Cloverfield thing happened, I'm pretty sure by the end the explanation is that when the reactor goes off, there's a switch in the dimensions, and those monsters are somewhere in between, or they were put on the Earth because of the reactor going on. It's such a fucking stupid movie.
Well, at least there wasn't any hype leading up to it, or there was a theatrical release. I feel like people would have been a lot more mad if it wasn't this just dumb, disposable Netflix movie. But now I can watch it for free and not give a shit.
Did you see that Elon Musk launched his car into space?
That was so fucking cool. Yes.
Yeah, did you see this?
Dude, I fucking love space shit.
Did you see the video of like the car floating?
Am I what, Alex?
Are you a big space guy?
No.
Did you see?
You're not passionate about space, exploring the stars.
Did you see the twin fuel, whatever they're called? They landed on their own.
I did see that. I saw that on Reddit.
It's really fucking cool.
Not because I care, though.
I know you don't care.
It just seemed like the coolest fucking way to blow multiple billions of dollars. Well, not blow, but he sends this giant rocket up to show off that he's better at rockets than NASA now. And not only that, he puts a Tesla on the top of it, and then you can see the Tesla once the fucking top of the rocket comes off, and it's got a little dummy in there named Starman, and then they start playing David Bowie as the thing leaves orbit.
Doesn't it?
So
didn't it feel sort of like effortless almost? I know it was like the most difficult thing ever, and it's got billions of dollars and research and everything done to it to make it work. But I didn't hear about it, and then I heard about it.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it at all until it was
happened.
happening.
And that almost made it feel like, oh damn, this is sort of the shit that just happens now. And the fact that he launched his car into space, I think it's probably going to ignite another space race for everybody around the world. I don't know what the significance of launching cars into space is, but the fact that it's so accessible now that a private corporation is capable of going to space is everything to me. It's so interesting. It's everything we need as a species to be able to access other things in the world. I mean, the universe.
Yeah. I'm actually doing the show I work for in NPR is doing an hour on this exact topic, space and what the fuck is going on there. Like, why are private companies getting involved? Is that a bad thing? Could private companies rule space instead of the government? Because then, weirdly, you kind of get into an altered carbon situation where maybe only the wealthy elite are allowed into space or something.
Please don't reference altered carbon as if it was a good plot.
Yeah, but that being said, I like Elon Musk, and he gets a lot of shit from random people on the internet who are like, well, Elon, instead of launching your car into space, why don't you fix world hunger or do something productive? I was like, that's such a fucking dumb, limited worldview. Like, other people can deal with solving world hunger. Like, that's great, and that's admirable. Elon Musk doesn't need to be concerned with that. Like, I doubt you're that concerned with it. He just wants to fucking get us into space, and that's cool shit, and that's important for all of humanity.
There's a new Deadpool 2 trailer. Not to completely off-rail you. Yammin, there's a new Deadpool 2 trailer.
I haven't seen it yet. I saw it trending on Twitter, and I haven't watched it yet, so I can't talk about it. Sorry.
It's dope. I watched it. Cable's in it. Looks great. I'm excited. They also, like, shit on the CGI mustache they had to remove.
Or no.
From BVS.
Justice League. Sorry, can't tell.
Henry Cavill's shitty digital mustache. There was also a trailer for Jessica Jones season 2.
Really?
Yeah, which looks fine. The season is going to be about
which looks okay.
how she got her powers.
Why no one cares how the origin of the superhero works? Why do you think people wanted nothing to do with Spider-Man's origin anymore? It doesn't. Only because we've seen it so much.
People don't want anything to do with Spider-Man's origin because everyone already knows it.
That's not the only reason. Nobody gives a fuck about the origin of anybody.
I definitely do. I definitely care. I don't know anything about Jessica Jones' origins. I'd be curious to see what that is. Like, I didn't know anything about Wolverine's origins, and I thought X-Men Origins would be a good movie. It wasn't, but I was still interested in his origins, so it is what it is. Captain America: The First Avenger is an origins movie, and I thought that was interesting. Iron Man 1, also an origins movie, technically. Pretty good.
It's not like my favorite way to do that is always just start. They've been this character for like 5 years. Just give me the real version of them. I don't want to see the fucking origin. Maybe you can cut to pieces of the, making of this person and past references. I don't know. Just like, I don't care. Your origin is never going to be as interesting as you think it is.
Season 1 of Jessica Jones is just all about her doing Jessica Jones stuff. Nothing to do with her origin. And season 2 seems like it's just going to be about her dealing with some new threat that ties back to her origin. So I think they're going to explore that in a pretty natural way that will be cool.
I'm confused by... I mean, it's easier to believe in comics because it almost makes the world seem bigger in comics. I don't know how they accomplished that, but they made the world in Marvel seem small. Maybe that's just because there aren't enough characters yet to make it seem like there's a world full of superheroes. But it still makes no sense to me how there are still individual one-on-one conflicts with like 3 people. I just don't understand that. How like nobody's gonna call for help. Nobody's gonna bring up like Iron Man and say, "Hey, I'm about to fight this guy. Can you come help?" I mean, at Thor Ragnarok, he just got together a team of people he happened to meet, and that was great. It was awesome because he got help. Like, you can easily get help. There's like 1 billion people you can call. I don't understand.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. It's weird. Well, even before the Defenders, when they all got together, I thought it was weird that none of them hooked up before, or that Claire, Rosario Dawson, whoever, wasn't like, hey, I know another like superpowered person. Maybe they could help with this. She never mentioned that. She just vaguely mentioned that she has a lawyer friend one time and like whatever. There's also the fact that Spider-Man's never run into any of the Defenders. Like, none of the Avengers are even aware of Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, or Iron Fist. And I know the real reason is because the TV and movie divisions at Marvel don't like each other for some reason. But if you're building this big universe that you want everyone to buy into and believe in, it's a little weird that you have these 4 superpowered people running around 1 or 2 very specific neighborhoods in New York and just not mentioning it, not involving each other in things. Like, I think they should at least make a cameo in Infinity War. They're not gonna. Seems all pretty dumb to me.
This has nothing to do with any of this that we've just been talking about, just superheroes, though. I've been thinking about a lot of things that I like about Batman, and I'm starting to think that I don't like Batman anymore. It's weird. I liked him for a really long time, but just the idea of someone running around on a rooftop who had all those resources, who could have very easily been helping in so many other ways with those billions of dollars, and this is how you choose to make things change. Like, I don't know, you could build yourself any number. He runs across so many villains that have things that enhance themselves to make it easier for them to do things, but he refuses to. He doesn't take steroids. He doesn't build himself a giant suit and use it all the time. Why? Why not? None of the crime in Gotham is like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't like Batman anymore.
I mean, I don't think all the stuff in Gotham requires like a mech
That's
suit.
not
I
my
think
point.
that'd be very like.
There's no reason to hold back.
prohibitive.
There's no reason at all to hold back.
I don't think he necessarily holds
does.
back. He's pretty well equipped, and he also, you have to keep in mind that he likes to be agile because that's like his fighting style.
Is that efficient? His whole thing is he wants crime to stop. He wants people to be safe. But he's at the most, maybe the whole idea of Batman is that he's an insane idiot, and he really enjoys this cat and mouse game with these other costumed villains, and his whole, reality hinges on him doing that forever. And if he gets in these big suits and, wipes out the rest of crime in Gotham, then he's got nothing to do anymore. Maybe it's all just his.
That's definitely been addressed, and like I think is an interesting theme of Batman. But it kind of, if you think about it too much, it kind of, I guess, as it did for you, just ruins Batman. Cause
it ruins all characters that run around on rooftops that have no powers.
I don't know. Kind of ruins most superheroes, I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe not people like Iron Man or like really anyone in Marvel, because they are actually like much larger, more mystical threats they need to deal with and whatever. Whereas Batman is kind of more on the grounds, standard crime stuff. There's no like, unless we're talking Justice League, there's no like alien threat that Batman needs to be constantly equipped with.
He's in the Justice League and he's forced to fight aliens all the time.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying that's the only reason that that's okay. But if we're talking strictly Batman dealing with like inner city crime, just like the Joker or whatever cavalcade of villain he deals with on occasion, strictly within Gotham City, then yeah.
The combination of his comics and the Justice League comics makes his character so hard to grasp, because if he's struggling with, I don't know, the Riddler, if he can't take down the Riddler, if he's really pushing himself in a situation where his enemy is the Riddler, who's just a guy who is very smart and sometimes has some gadgets as well, if he's struggling with him, and then he goes in on a mission with the Justice League and is punching demons out of the sky and like shooting grappling hooks and ripping them down and then dropping missiles on things, it's like you basically have a dial and you're just turning up how powerful he is with every comic. And I realize it's the same way with every single publication, but it's just hard to swallow when it's your whole idea for your character is that they're human, vulnerable, and they can't accomplish everything by themselves. Like, that's why he has Robin and Nightwing and all these, like, the Bat family. It's so weird.
No, yeah, 100%. I agree.
I used to be totally against Yammin's hate for it, but now I understand it completely.
I hate Batman is so dumb, dude.
Yeah. Yammin's vindicated in this.
I love Tony Stark as a character more than ever, honestly.
Yeah. Although I have one issue with Tony Stark in Captain America Civil War where he's
Emotional
talking
and
about
stupid.
all. No. He's like, oh, we need to be held accountable because we keep hurting innocents and like stuff like that. And his solution to that, or not necessarily a solution, but that seems kind of contrary to what he does when he brings Peter Parker into the fight, who's a literal teenager, to fight Captain America
Okay.
and his gang.
I really liked having Spider-Man in that movie, but it
too.
doesn't make sense. I mean, the movie does it really
doesn't.
well. Civil War is a fantastic movie. It's just fun all the way
Yeah.
through. But the idea that he doesn't have another person on the list other than this fucking 16-year-old in Brooklyn or the Bronx or whatever he's from, like, it doesn't make the most sense. Tony Stark would have. Why don't you just bring in all your suits? Why don't you just make everybody wear Iron Man suits? It's another little thing. Like, if you wanted more muscle to take these people down, you could very easily do it. I don't understand your issue.
Yeah.
Think about those what's that shitty character that we made fun of and we made it
Hawkeye?
a bit and we put it up as a video? The bow and
Hawkeye.
arrow guy. Could you imagine Hawkeye in an Iron Man suit? Even if he still had a bow and arrow, just he was in an Iron
He
Man
might
suit.
be useful for
You would
something.
break the bow.
Yeah, just simply just give him the Iron Man suit simply for the mobility, and then
Dude,
he could hold
Rhodey-
more arrows.
Rhodey,
and whatnot.
like,
I don't know.
I would seriously, definitely watch a War Machine movie because I want to see him, like, he's flying over whatever, some combat zone, and he gets shot down, and then his armor's, like, out of commission for a little while, and then he finally, in the last stand, gets it back, and he gets to shoot up all these guys. Like, Iron Man is so much more interesting when he's, like, in war. Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
also, like, has
Okay.
the odds stacked against him as an underdog, but, like shooting at tanks and having black, like, soot around his suit and just, like, really damaged, but, like, fighting other superheroes looks cool, but that's not what I want to see. I want to see this, like, him, like, grab a tank and crunch the armor and just, like, throw it and all this cool stuff that I saw in the first Iron Man movie and a little bit in the second one when he fought with Rhodey in that amazing fucking scene with all those robots that he killed.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Those
my
are the only
favorite
saving
kind of
grace
Iron
about
Man.
it, too. But what I think is interesting that we haven't seen yet, I'm not sure if the comics do this, maybe they do, but Iron Man making different kinds of suits that aren't this traditional Iron Man archetype. Like, maybe he can make something like Black Panther's
have a
suit.
bunch?
He has a bunch of different suits, but I'm saying that maybe he makes something like a Black Panther suit that's more all about, like, agility and speed and stuff. Also, shouldn't Iron Man have access to vibranium? Like, if he made a suit out of that,
The whole
he'd be
thing
unstoppable,
was in
basically.
the cinematic universe, at least. The only bit of Wakandan vibranium that got out was the shield's worth, and it was apparently also from Ulysses Claw, the stuff that Ultron steals.
Yeah.
So Howard Stark got that illegally. It wasn't like he just went in and said, "Can I have some?"
Oh, okay. Ultron was using it to buff himself up or make more of it?
He was
to
made a
make
body.
his robot army. Oh yeah, his body was made of vibranium, but then he
That
doesn't
movie
get
was
that
really
body
dumb.
right because that ends up being Vision. Yeah, I rewatched it a while ago.
I mean, it's pretty. It looks good.
and Yeah, it was all right. Now that I think about it, Ultron in the grand scheme of things
Would have been more interesting if he was actually Ultron.
Yeah, but also didn't really
It
matter.
doesn't matter now.
Like, every Avengers movie, I feel, has to be really, like, consequential.
Well, he
like,
killed
there are
Quicksilver,
stakes.
but Quicksilver had just showed up in that movie.
Yeah, so Avengers 2 feels like, remember that one time robots swarmed a city and there was a city in the sky? and we
Well,
had to stop
no,
it
it
from
was
falling?
consequential because that's the reason there's conflict in Civil War.
Yeah, but the thing that really kicks off Civil War is the opening to that where they accidentally kill the kids or whatever. If they hadn't done that, the events of Civil War probably wouldn't have begun. 'Cause they obviously didn't fucking feel bad after Avengers 2. They seemed fucking perfectly fine
Yeah,
with
it
like the few minor
felt
casualties
too-
they had there.
It felt too soft, kind of. And when the whole thing with Tony in Civil War is him just feeling huge amounts of guilt because Ultron is totally his fault. It's all his fault. Everything about it is his fault. He is responsible for the deaths and destruction. So the fact that his way of giving back is to give grants to college students almost makes no sense at all to me. And also his guilt should be focused like on, I don't know, helping the people in whatever that city was that he totally killed.
You mean the one in Avengers 2?
They get dropped
Sokovia,
out of the sky. Sokovia.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. But whatever. We'll have to see. I'm curious about what they're going to do in Avengers Infinity War to bring everyone back together. I mean, I guess it can't be that hard when you have Thanos, who's like this overarching threat that could just kill everyone. It could be pretty simple to bring Cap and Iron Man back together. But we don't see them in scenes together, in the trailers at least. Everyone seems kind of separate and kind of doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we also don't see... I don't know how Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor are going to come into it.
Thor's... Spoilers for Thor Ragnarok, but I'm thinking... Well, at the very end of the movie, you see the big ship that Thanos is in. It's looming over Thor's ship, and I assume ship gets exploded or whatever, and then Guardians come in to save them, and that's why he's on the windshield, which is actually a really neat tie-in, and a kind of a simple one, too.
Well, then what about... That makes a few characters' fates uncertain, like Loki.
He's in the movie.
Valkyrie. Oh, yeah, Loki is in Infinity War. Well, what about Valkyrie and...
maybe they're
Mark Ruffalo's
maybe
fine,
they're captured
Hulk
and not killed.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. But how do you feel about Thanos' helmet being gone?
I don't care.
How do you feel about him just looking like a fucking purple potato?
Looking like Ron from Pawn Shop.
Yeah. Exactly. That's a good one.
I'm really thirsting for a villain in these movies that really feels like their motivation makes sense, because it's
apparently Black Panther's villain is really good.
Supposedly
Michael B. Jordan.
Dude, that guy's so fucking jacked. I want to look like that.
They're all fucking... I mean, yeah, it's pretty easy to get jacked when you're fucking paid to do it and have like $1 million Hollywood dollars. Like, I bet I could lose like 20 pounds or some shit.
You're being paid.
If in like a month, yeah. I mean, if that's your full-time job, yeah. Like, I feel like almost anyone could do it. Unless you have like some serious like overeating addiction. But if you're just like a regular person who's just like kind of lazy and doesn't want to take the time to like work out or eat well enough, if it was your full-time job and you had all the time in the world for it, wouldn't be a problem, I think, for most people. But anyways, that's besides the point.
Thanos, I really hope that he just has something interesting about his character. I don't know, with Ultron, the character of Ultron is much more interesting when he's like cold and calculating and a robot. Like, because how do you conquer a robot? It's got everything. It's thinking ahead of you. It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't have all these like dramatic moments where he's like, and now I'll end it, and then he does this thing. No, he just already did it. He is already doing what he thinks about, and we didn't get that with that character. We got a weird, I don't know, philosophizing crazy person with a weird voice. Yeah,
but I mean, what is Thanos' motivation besides taking over the world?
He also desires that the character of Lady Death looks at him and finds him appealing. He wants to kill everything in the universe or whatever, I believe, so that Lady Death will, his soulmate will come and talk to him.
So he's just doing all this because he's thirsty.
Maybe. I don't know. I doubt that they're going to go that way in this movie because, you know,
yeah, but I still hope they set up some sort of better motivation than he's just like this guy who's thirsty for power. I mean, if they make him menacing enough, I could buy it and like go along with it, especially because Josh Brolin's performance, from what I can tell in the trailers, is really fucking menacing.
Cable and Thanos, that guy's making fucking money.
Yeah, literally the top two grossing movies of the year probably are coming out 2 weeks apart.
And he's the villain.
Both of them starring Josh Brolin.
He's not going to be a villain as Cable. Maybe he won't be like an anti-hero or whatever.
Yeah, it'll probably be an anti-hero of some fucking sort. I don't know who the villain is in Deadpool 2, actually.
Maybe it's Mephisto.
I have no idea.
Bethesda, yeah, the game company.
He's gonna fucking.
They're gonna come out
them to
in Deadpool 2, and they're gonna be like, "We're releasing Skyrim on the Switch."
We will not.
What have you been looking at this entire time? Just Twitter?
I got a text from a coworker saying something's on fire at work.
What the fuck?
And I was like, I don't know. I'm at school. Call somebody else. And
What is on?
And then I went on Twitter and found this dude that killed his neighbor
An Oklahoma
because
man.
he was from Lebanon. Yeah, he looks like the most disgusting
He does,
garbage
doesn't
human
he?
you could imagine.
Why
CNN
are
tweeted
all-
out an Oklahoma man who harassed and attacked members of a Lebanese family living next door was found guilty of first-degree murder, a hate crime, and other charges in connection with the 2016 slaying of Khalid Jabara. Oh, man.
Why are all racist assholes? Why do they look like racist
Why do
assholes?
they look like the
you can
hate
just,
that's inside them?
Why am I never
like you can tell it
surprised?
looks like literally the dark side or something eating away at them from the inside. Like you can just tell. It's bizarre.
Black eyes like a dog's
They look like they all
eyes.
just kind of look like Steve Bannon or
Why do
something.
his eyes look completely black?
Yeah, they really do.
Because he's filled with rage.
Probably.
He has no soul.
Authorities have said that in August 2016, Majors walked next door up the front steps of his neighbor's porch and shot and killed Jabara. They say he did it because the family is from Lebanon.
What a fucking douche.
He looks like human trash.
What a God, he looks like he's gonna have a great time in prison.
I'm not sure. Why do people always assume that prison justice is so amazing?
I mean,
Like
do
when
you
some
mean?
pedophile guy gets arrested and thrown in jail, people are always like, "Oh, they always treat pedophiles terribly. Prisoners have this weird sense of morality, even though they're also criminals." It's not all people in prison who are just gonna.
I mean, isn't that how that
I
works?
wouldn't imagine that it is. That just
I mean,
sounds
I
like
don't know. I've
such
never
a
been
movie
in
thing.
prison.
I don't know.
I
It just
don't
sounds like
know.
something somebody said once, and now everybody says it.
yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not advocating for prison rape,
Vigilante
which I think
justice.
is vigilante
Vigilante
justice. It's kind of problematic for a lot of other reasons that I don't really feel like getting into.
Why do people say that so much?
But,
is there another word we can use instead of problematic?
What? Yeah, I actually kind of hate using that word just because it's kind of
You
associated
hate it? You
with-
say it all the time.
I mean, I say it because I don't have any other fucking word to say. I mean, it feels weird that it's been kind of bastardized into this thing for people to complain about stupid shit.
You know what other word has been
But-
done in the same way? Is it important?
Can I just say like troubling? It's troubling.
I'm not the word police. Say whatever you want. I was just asking a question.
I don't fucking know, but
Important.
there's a
is the
lot of
same
words
way.
like that. Yeah.
This is
there's
so
just a lot of-
important. But the way they say it almost makes it seem like they don't know what that means.
That's not important.
Like
yeah.
like a blog about, I don't know, how to do eyeshadow the right way. This is so
Oh, well, I
important.
always assume that's like a joke or something.
No,
like
that's not what
it's
I,
exaggeration.
because I think there should be more words, because when one word like important gets used for eyeshadow and bullshit and stupid whatever problematic post or something like that, important a billion times about that, and then you think something that's actually important, and now it's been used so much that it doesn't mean what important means anymore, and it's just been hijacked as this
Yeah.
other thing, and it's very annoying because problematic means now in my head something that's like non-PC.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to talk about things that are actually problematic without people instantly assuming you're just going to be like a PC police or whatever the fuck. Although I would argue that a lot of the time when people are complaining about PC culture, they're just seeking an excuse to be assholes themselves.
Oh, not to hate on this conversation about that I totally just started, but I got a message on Xbox Live. I can't turn on my Xbox to look at it now, but it was pretty fucking extensive. And then I don't know how, but it's gone now. I don't know what happened to it. It was amazing. After I was doing really well in Overwatch. I got like 26 eliminations. The game wrapped up. I get voted. I got the 4 votes or whatever for the thing. 5, whatever.
5.
And I was doing really well, and I was really happy. And I put the controller down, and then I got a message, and I opened it, and it was like the copy paste that's just like, "What did you just say to me, you fucking piece of shit," or whatever. I was a
Yeah.
Marine for whatever, but it was all the nouns, I think, were replaced with the N word, and then another set of words were replaced with the F word.
Oh,
it was the most
well
amazing amalgamation ever. I wish I had taken a screenshot of it, but it's somehow gone off my Xbox. Maybe it's like, what the fuck?
Anytime anyone sends you something like that, the best response, what I love to do, is send them something that is completely irrelevant to what they've said, and that So, for example, the last time something like that happened to me, I can't remember exactly. Something along the lines of I replied with, "My dad beats me, help," and then they stopped messaging me. It's completely irrelevant to
I
what
always
they're
like to
saying.
do the
You just
I'm coming on to them thing,
you hit them with like
where I go like "Daddy, yes" or something like that. Just choke me harder.
yeah, there you go. That's it. That's good. Yeah, or like there's a porcupine in my toilet or something. They just don't know how.
It's
How do
basically
you
like
respond to that?
you're not gonna get anything out of coming at me because I'm just gonna reply with something even more nonsensical. So
Right.
yeah, it's always fun to fuck with people.
That's a better approach than my usual approach.
Which is
I
actually
just
arguing with them?
reply, Like, no, I'm just like, okay.
No, they'll
that's
still
it.
come after you
I'm
if you
just
say
like,
something like
okay.
that though, because they would think you're a little like
Yeah.
being non-aggressive.
Report if it's on Xbox, report them because you can literally press on the specific
Harassing
message
me.
and report them, and you get this wonderful thing. And a couple of days later, it goes, "We recently took action on one of your
Really?
reports,"
Yeah.
and so you're like, "Oh yes." There's like that moment of like you
I
didn't even
just
have to say
fucked
anything
somebody's
back,
day
and
up.
you know this guy won't be able to send messages to people for a week or something like that, like something.
I've done that on Facebook
Not sure
a couple
exactly what
times.
the punishment is.
I've like reported people on Facebook for saying like awful shit, and I've also reported
Mm-hmm.
like bot accounts and stuff, and I get like notifications
Mm-hmm.
being like, "Oh, we noticed that like a Russian porn bot trying to solicit and install viruses in people's shit has recently been contacting you and other users. So
Yeah.
thank you for bringing that to our attention." I was like, "No problem, Mark Zuckerberg. Just doing my job."
Do you know how Xbox's reputation system works?
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So when someone gets reported enough, there's like 3 levels. There's like the regular, like you're a good player. There's what is the middle level?
Isn't it like fair or something? I don't remember.
No, it's not great. It says, I can't remember the worst level. If you get reported way too much, it says avoid me, right? And it matches that player up with other people of your reputation,
no.
of their
So it puts all the
reputation,
fucking
I should
idiots in
say.
the same
So
room.
so yeah,
Oh, that's
yes,
better for the
perfect.
idiots to
So
be
you don't
with
have to
each
play
other.
with them.
What a room that would be.
Yeah,
though.
than being with you.
Do you think they would like
you don't
realize
have to worry
it?
about that because you're not in that room. I think it's a bad system. Well, it's a great system for the people that aren't assholes, but for the people that are assholes, they probably meet people like them. Those people, they piss each other off, and then they go spread that hate to people that aren't assholes. If that makes sense.
I always wonder if maybe like the assholes just meet each other and either they like fight for a bit and then maybe start becoming friends and like the hate in their heart quells and
It never will.
everything is fine.
I really
I don't think that's how
never
hate works.
understood how someone. I really fucking genuinely hate people who are so immediately aggressive and defensive and angry at the drop of a fucking
Right.
hat. Like, you could say something completely innocent that is not meant to offend anybody in any way, and they'll immediately be, "What the fuck does that mean? Fucking," I don't know, whatever they're gonna call you, but like, people like that in real life, online, whatever, they're so fucking annoying. I don't know what broke you as a child that made you so sensitive and so immediately aggressive. It's so annoying.
Yes. Surround yourself
Exactly.
with people that aren't like that. Like if you have to think about everything you're gonna say because you're worried about the people around you, you're not around the right people.
Yeah. Every time I see someone like that being like mad online or like in person or something, I'm just like, you know, you're the bad guy in this situation, right?
Even if they have a good point.
It's like, listen, I'm gonna let you in on something. You're never gonna, accept it, but you're the douche.
You're the douche in every scenario. You're
Just
your
take
own worst
that
enemy.
if you want. I'm just gonna put it down, and you can.
I also hate yelling
take that
when it's not like in a satirical, joking way. When it's not an
Yeah,
innocent
same. I'm just like,
conversation.
why are you
If
yelling?
someone starts
I
yelling at
don't
me,
care.
I'll walk away. I don't want to talk to a person like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly going back to the messages thing. When someone sends you like you play really well, and someone starts attacking you like racial
Yeah.
slurs and this and that,
Why?
and it's just like.
Yeah.
Why I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to come back at you with similar things. I'm not going to react either. It's either I'm just not going to answer, or I usually do answer, and it's just something like funny, something like to get them
I
to
met
stop
so many
messaging
people
me.
like that in high school, and I am so certain that they're gonna get arrested for assaulting their significant other. I know that they will. You know that they're like when you meet someone and you can tell immediately that they're that kind of a weird, aggressive psycho. Yeah, I hate those fucking people so much. What was the message that you got where it was a bunch of voice messages from some like bumpkin on Rainbow?
Oh my, was it? It was Rainbow, right? I did really well in Rainbow. I clutched.
It was
I still
amazing.
have that
It
clip
was
recorded
beautiful.
because I don't know if I got an ace. I think I might have gotten an ace. Either
4 or
way, I got
5,
like
yeah.
at least 4 kills, and I won the round. I knew where he was going to peek his head out of, so I was aiming at this spot, and I could kind of understand, I guess, if he watched the kill cam, he saw that I just happened to be aiming there. Wow, he must be cheating. So he messaged me, voice message on Xbox One, which is something I hadn't seen since 360. Voice messages back to back to back. Like, he sounded like
The racist captain of the team.
the most, like, exactly, right? Like, I don't know how, like, a southern, like, the heaviest, thickest, dumbest southern accent
Did he have
you
dip
could
in his lip?
imagine. And it was just,
Dipsky
might
and
have.
Lipsky.
He might have. I wouldn't put it past him.
I'll come take your head off. That's where you're using hacks. I know it.
I'll tell you what.
That's, oh my God. I probably still have it. I have so many messages. Like, I don't delete them. Another thing I like to do for the people that are especially hateful is I'll go through my messages and I'll go back like a year or something crazy to someone I haven't messaged or hasn't messaged me in a year. And I'll send them I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's true. Or something, like, I'll just send him something, just a little let's sprinkle something in.
What
in
if I
their
was? What are you
messages
going to do
just
about it?
get
It's
them
been
to
a
see
year
what
and a
they
half.
say.
Do you still care?
You're right. I did.
I
But
actually
in
was
Rainbow, that
hacking.
happens a lot, though. It's not always like you look like you're aimbotting at 6 different heads.
Well, you
I
play
mean, I'm not the best
you
player
play
in the
casual
world.
a lot, so you meet
but
a lot of cancerous people because you play casual. You don't
It's
play
like
ranked.
those situations where I can understand why someone would think I was hacking, because with Rainbow, there's a lot of things that contribute to your ability to find someone, and a lot of it is audio, and most people don't even care about the audio. They don't listen for footsteps or anything like that. And I'll be
It's also teammates. Sorry to interrupt, but you were saying like, a lot of factors. It's also teammates. Like,
Exactly,
someone will
yeah.
call out, he's coming to the door to your left, and you aim to your left and kill him, and they watch the
you
kill cam. They don't hear
telepathically
your
know that
teammate,
I'm
and
right
they just
behind the
go,
door.
"How
Exactly.
did he know? He must be cheating somehow to know that I was going to
It's the
come
worst
through that
thing
door."
ever. Well, I was just
Continue,
gonna say,
sorry.
like, a lot of time you'll hear some walking, and then the walking will stop, and you're just like, I wonder if he's right behind this wall, and you shoot one bullet, hit him in the head, and it's just like,
Shoot
am
through
I
it.
a god or something? They're gonna be messaging me like, you fucking aimbotting piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long time. We should stop recording.
It has been. Did you already
No.
stop? Okay, good.
We have
That would be a
fan
fucking
mail.
problem.
Yeah, I thought you said it's been a long time. I just stopped recording. Like, I don't know.
All right, let's just go over the fan mail and fan art real quick and wrap this up. This is from Ingrid Hef. Ooh, I'm not going to say that, just in case they don't want their last name out there. When this is what I first thought of, I didn't think it warranted an email, but I think maybe at least Patrick will find it funny after hearing his random Hawkman thought in the last podcast. So, my parents and I were talking about taxes, and my sister asked something about how the British got taxes from the colonies. And me, being the smartass I am, said, narwhals. They trained narwhals and sent them over to the colonies and had them eat the tax money and swim back to England. But what the narwhals didn't do is that what the narwhals didn't know is that they were slaughtered in order to retrieve the money. Then one group of narwhals found out as they were going to get the money, and once they were told the Americans, the narwhals were too tired to leave immediately, so to give them energy and nutrients, the British would throw tea into the harbor, thus starting the American Revolution. Then she asked why it was pronounced narwhal and not narwhale, and I basically said that narwhals named us and not us them, continuing on by saying that narwhals were and always have been, and we have forsaken them. Frankly, it got out of hands. Anyways, this is dumb, and I don't know if I'm just wasting time, but I can't draw, so I'd like to contribute something cool in some ways. Sorry I'm a mess, Ingrid. Thank you, Ingrid, for your email. Patrick is holding back
Jeez.
his laughter.
Well,
throughout
that was something. Holy shit. What? So she said all of that, like, in that moment, and remembered it, and has emailed it to us. Oh,
That's one way. That's a really fucking intense way to fuck with someone.
That's not fucking with them.
That's
That's just
good.
like you said something for so long that it didn't probably work with the regular flow of conversation, so everyone just sort of stopped and stared at you while you finished this 8-minute long story. You probably look like a psychopath,
That was
Ingrid.
fucking good. I love that shit. All right, and we also got
Wait,
fan art.
I have it
from-
open. Shut up. So
Okay,
Catherine
fine,
Moe.
did it, bitch.
So Catherine Moe sent us this, and it looks like some fancy like gothic religious painting, and it makes me so happy. It's so good. Catherine Moe on Instagram sent us this. Is like the way she draws stuff with pencil. It just looks so effortless and pretty. And she drew me with just a nose and eyes, and I think that's probably the best way to draw me.
Yeah. We're the Holy Trinity. I am the Father. Yammin is the Son. Patrick is the Holy Spirit. I don't like to say Holy Ghost. That sounds spooky. I grew up saying the Holy Spirit, but that's just me.
Spooky.
not Catholic.
Your
Someone-
dad says it at the dinner table. You're just like,
All right.
Yeah, we gotta get the Exorcist in if someone accidentally says
and
Holy
then
Ghost.
Noodle Bun Art hit us back with another one of her or him. And then they sent us one that's also, it's just so cute. Like the way she drew the two of you is like anime boys. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that one. Okay, now I know which one
Yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah, the you in the middle.
I'm a Muppet.
You look like a derp.
Yeah, Patrick's a
That's
fucking
the absolute.
And
Muppet.
I'm pretty sure it's just a reference to the intro that we do all the time, where it's just you guys say your names and I
Yeah.
just make a weird animalistic noise.
course.
I don't know why I do that.
Yamin definitely looks like an anime boy who's like fawning over me or something.
Wait, do we?
That's how I look in real life. They really captured how I look.
I love that. I like how I'm like looking at the hair because I think drawing hair is always like very interesting. But like me and Yamin have like the same hair kind of. That's cool. And
Yeah, I don't know. Where are you guys looking at?
It's
the
on Instagram.
pictures? Are you on Instagram or are you
Prude
on
did
okay.
Instagram. Yeah, and then Patrick has actually like wavy like hair with some shape to it.
Punch me.
You know, it's got some flow
Which
to it.
one?
So the one of you in the Muppet. Well, generally in a lot of the art, people are able to capture that your hair has more natural volume.
Oh yeah, that's just because I do
Then
this though, and my
us.
hair is longer.
Oh, they got
Yeah.
the half frame glasses I wear.
Yeah, dude. When
Not
they get
now.
into drawing
Yeah.
The
Yamin,
ones I
they
used
do it
to
so
wear.
specifically and intricately.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's awesome.
Right, because they have
didn't
to,
even notice
because you have two pictures on your fucking internet.
Yeah, they gotta really follow it to a fucking T.
Hey, suck my.
Suck a dick.
They could draw some
Alright.
dude who looks nothing like you, and people will be like, "Yeah, that's probably Yamin." They don't have any idea what you look like.
I literally, when you showed me that the person was like, there are no pictures of Yammin. I went through my camera roll. I was like, oh, you want? All right, I'll give him some pictures. I mean, and then I
You
couldn't
know, there's
find
a
single
function on
picture.
your phone. There's a camera.
I just
right?
don't.
That was a really
Yeah.
belated response.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like pictures of myself. Hence
You have
why
your
there are no
progress
fucking
picture that you
pictures on my
took.
phone, Patrick. Oh
You
yeah,
should
I'm
do
just gonna
it.
send a shirtless picture of me to be drawn.
You know, those
I
people
will
who
not
take
do
like
it.
hilarious pictures that like any of the meme YouTubers. I call them that, but like Filthy Frank and what's the other guy? iDubbbz, like all these people who just don't care and they're parodies of themselves all the time and take those stupid pictures where H3H does the same thing where he just has like his gut hanging out and he's just laying there in like some weird position. I could never do that because I hate myself, but I do sometimes take like pictures like with 16 chins. That's my favorite, and people always criticize me for it.
Yeah, I mean, you put those on Snapchat.
You always just fucking post random ass pictures of yourself with no context
Do
whatsoever.
they need context? Should I give them a title?
Yes, explain to me why you're posting a random side shot of your
Is there a
face.
law against it?
Look, no, but I'd just like to know what the fuck is going
It's free
on.
speech.
It's just
my
free speech,
God.
bro.
Dude, I hate that.
Stop
I know we should
censoring
probably
me.
stop recording, but I kind of want to yell about
Yeah.
that for a second.
Yeah, I hate fucking free
It's not-
speech. I mean, I'm all for free speech, but if you're yelling about free speech all the
It's-
time to defend the shitty shit you say,
I think we may have talked
Shut
about
up.
this before, but like, it's some dude says something, and then another person says, "Oh, well, here's my thing about that," and then the idiot responds and says, "It's like, oh, you're infringing on my free speech. You know, they're trying. The left is trying to censor what we say, or something like that." Like, can there never be a conversation where two people criticize each other, where it's not some law that's brought up as like Second Amendment, First Amendment, any of these fucking things? Like, I don't know.
that's my problem with fucking dumbass political pundits like Dave Rubin, who is just the fucking worst, who always complains that his videos get demonetized on YouTube, and he's like, this is how the left censors us. Like, they say it's an algorithm, but they only target people with opposing viewpoints, yada, yada, yada. I'm just like, Dude, no one gives a shit enough about what you have to say that they're going out of their way to like fuck you over. It's just like a shitty YouTube algorithm that demonetizes anything remotely political or controversial. Don't get your fucking granny panties in a bunch, little boy. Anyways, that's all I have to say on that matter. I think I'm just more annoyed by the people complaining about that their free speech is being censored. Actually, that doesn't even make sense because YouTube is a private company that can do whatever the fuck they want on their own platforms. So they're not censoring your free speech. Just go fucking somewhere else. Just go fucking somewhere else and say it. Unless the government's stopping you, then it's not fucking censorship. And who gives a shit? That's all I have to say. All right, let's wrap it up. If you want to send us any fan art, fan letters, business inquiries, what kind of businesses are listening to this show, honestly?
Stupid ones.
Send those to Prude.
I'm sure all the businesses are interested after that.
If you're a representative,
they're all like, we need to give them ads.
If you're a rep from the NFL,
to sponsor
some sort of baby food company, you might not want to advertise with us. But if you are Blue Apron, Helix Mattresses, Audible, or Squarespace, we're wide open, and we will even make a website about dead babies just for you.
We should do a thing each week where I read the like best thing that's written on the walls of these study rooms.
Give me the single best thing.
Make a selection for us.
It says last day in this college, and then in parentheses underneath it says I'm not graduating, I'm quitting.
Did I write that?
Damn.
All right, now we can.
I wonder how
right,
that goes. If you want to send us any of those things, send it to our email address, prudedudes@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at prudedudes. You can also find us on our personal Twitter accounts at AlexPenda97 for me, at PatrickCharlton5 for Patrick, and at @it's_Yammin for Yam. Also, I'd like to ask, we are at 42 ratings on iTunes right now. If we could cross 50, that would be incredible. That'd be really cool, and it really help the show
out. You can literally write
So
anything.
if you could do us a favor,
you gave them 5 stars. It doesn't
I don't
matter.
even think you have to write something, but if you do want to write something, that'd be cool.
Do that thing where you make a bunch of little keyboard things into a dick, and that will be your rating to it.
That'd be great.
Make 80 of them.
Sure.
So go on to
Dicks
iTunes, go on your podcast app, wherever you listen to podcasts, preferably iTunes. I'm not sure how it aggregates it from other apps, but go into iTunes, hit the 5-star rating, unless you don't think we deserve it, maybe 4 or 3 stars. Leave some constructive criticism.
2,
Won't leave it
1.
More and more
if you leave a 1-star
distance
review
between the most recent one and the one that we got when we first started out that said, Patrick interrupts Alex too much, and it makes me feel bad every single time I read it.
The first 2 reviews were actually quite serious, and they're like, I'm on a morning commute, and these guys are actually really funny. And the other guy was like, they're a pretty good start, but they interrupt each other too much.
They said I
after that
interrupt
was
you
like,
too much. It was definitely about me.
Yeah.
We've gotten better about that.
But then every
Just
review
all of us,
after
just
that
kind
is
of in
like,
general.
little prude boys are like, don't snort Allegra. Like all these other like memes.
I don't care.
So,
Review how you
thank you so
believe.
much for that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
if
it
you
all
wanna
helps.
leave
so
a
that
sincere
doesn't
note,
matter.
sincere criticism. We'll fucking listen to it probably and try to maybe do something about it, but probably not.
You better do it now, because once we start getting way
You know what I
more ratings, we
fucking
can't
hate?
read them
Yeah,
all
What I
as
exactly.
fucking
physically
hate
as
is when people
possible.
can't spell my goddamn name.
What are you talking about, Patrick Carlton?
They either do
What?
Carlton or Carton. Charlton. Anyway, that's all I had to say about that.
Yeah, you're
Ezadine?
complaining about
Ezadine's
your
such
name.
a fucking
spelling
cool
of your
name.
Shut the fuck up.
Ezadine.
Yammin Ezadine.
What are you
Shut
talking
the
about,
fuck- I have the
Ezadine?
hardest name to remember ever,
Ezedine.
and pronounce and spell. I'm talking about first name. Like last name
Yammin?
aside.
Do people,
All right,
do
Yammin
people,
Ezedine.
do people
Either
spell
one
it
M or an E, or
Y-O-M-N?
it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Yammin.
It's fucking. I don't know.
Yamin.
People pronounce a lot of Yamins.
Yamin, I can see. That makes
Is that how
sense
you
actually
pronounce
in
it?
terms of vowel rolls.
It does make sense. I mean, it's pronounced like ramen, like ramen noodles. That's how I tell everybody. Like, hey,
And
what's
everyone
your
just
name?
calls
Yamin.
you
Like
Ra-
ramen,
Oh,
ramen, Yamin.
Yamin.
And then everyone calls me ramen.
Should we fucking die now? I mean, wrap it up.
Yes. Go like our shit on iTunes.
down
Give us
for
5
either.
stars. Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Ew, don't like our shit. That's gross. Like the podcast.
Like the dead babies we kiss.
I love you, Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for losing the
Goodbye.
fucking game, Tom.
Bye.
Bye.